What's the deal with certain problems going away in life once you fully convert to the keto lifestyle? Hi, in case you're new here, I am Slick Nick, your personal keto bro. Now, I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, a nutritionist, a personal trainer, just some random dude on the internet who is less than 2 months away from turning 40 and who has a goal of getting down to 17% body fat, therefore allowing me to fit into a size medium t-shirt without the bottom sticking out like this. This is a large, by the way. It's getting baggy up here, but it's still sticking out there. So that's my motivation, right? But here's what I'm saying. A couple months into being keto now, full keto, meaning that I am consuming less than 25, actually between 25 and 50 carbohydrates a day. Sometimes less than 25, yesterday probably was. Between 25 and 50 grams of carbohydrates a day, getting most of my calories from fat and only half as much of my calories from protein. Heavy fat, moderate protein, very extremely low carbohydrates. Therefore, forcing my body to get its fuel from fat instead of from carbohydrates. That is the concept. Certain things in life though have become easier. Certain problems have went away, which I've written down, and I'm going to reveal them to you, believe it or not. But this is my life. People say, you should do your research. This is my research. I'm researching on myself before a live audience, and that's you. So here we go. How many problems? 7. 7 problems that have went away since I went full keto. Number 1, hunger. Yeah, you think, wait, Nick, hold up. Here's what you're saying. So Nick, you're saying that you get up at 5:30 a.m., you drink water, apple cider vinegar, and coffee with a little MCT oil, which is like 100 calories worth of pure fat. And then you don't consume anything else until like 10 or 11. And even then it's just more coffee and MCT oil and then butter. And then you don't actually eat a real meal until like 2 o'clock every day. And you're saying you're not hungry. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that by eating less and waiting until I eat, I'm less hungry. Because what happens is pure fat satiates your hunger. It keeps you from being hungry. Carbohydrates actually make you hungrier. They spike your insulin and cause you to store fat. But pure fat, it does not spike your insulin. Therefore, you're not storing fat by eating fat. So, and another thing that makes you hungry in general is eating food. That's why I don't eat any protein until the afternoon, until 2 o'clock. That's when I'll have my eggs. And therefore, I'm finally eating protein that late in the day. But what I'm telling you is, if you're not eating, and especially if you're not eating carbohydrates and protein, you're not getting hungry. And that's how I do it, and I've been doing this for months. People say, that's not sustainable. It is for me because I'm actually doing it and I'm living the bro science of it over here. So instead of having to be hungry all the time, thanks to that hunger hormone called ghrelin, I'm not triggering that hormone. I'm actually, through intermittent fasting, this is working to my advantage. Number 2, what's another problem that went away? Fat gain. Fat gain. I don't have to worry, 2 months away from turning 40, I'm not getting bigger. I'm not getting fatter. I don't get more fat on my body. Even if I don't have a perfect day, I'm still not gaining fat. I'm even, at worst, if I'm plateauing, I can at least learn how to manage things a little bit better so that I can continue to lose fat. But I'm not gaining fat. Yes, I'm eating bacon, cream cheese, 3 eggs a day, sausage, steak, hamburger, avocados, I mean nuts, seeds, I mean all these things full of fat, and yet I'm not gaining fat because I'm not spiking my insulin. So problems that went away, hunger and fat gain, those things have went away. And again, I'm not young, I'm almost 40. Number 3, low energy. People who don't do keto love to say, well, you won't have any energy on keto. Well, that's funny you should say that. It's quite the opposite. I have more energy. I feel more energetic now that I have cut out the carbs and I'm focusing on the fat. And then I'm intermittent fasting. Imagine I'm working out 6 to 7 every morning in the gym, doing either HIIT or TUT, depending on the part of the week, and then walking 2 or 3 miles after that, all on just a cup of black coffee with some MCT oil in it. And then it's still hours before I have anything else, and even then it's just more fat and coffee. So I'm having energy to do these things. I'm not needing carbs for energy because my body is becoming fat adapted, meaning it's learning that fat is a much more efficient fuel for your brain and your body, because your brain's got about 20% of your calories. That's where it goes to, is your brain. So I have more energy. I'm not tired. I typically wake up wide awake, and it's not like I'm just falling asleep. I have lots of energy. Next, so that was number 3. So problem went away, low energy problem, that went away. Never, don't have to worry about that. Number 4, similar note, brain fog. Okay, people say, oh, well, if I didn't eat carbs, I would be like, oh, what's going on? Not me. I'm very wide awake. Imagining that until 2 o'clock, all I really have is 2 cups of coffee with pure fat. You can imagine I'm wide awake. I'm wired, and I feel great. So I'm thinking more clearly on less food and only eating during a 5-hour window between 2 and 7 p.m. every day. All right, number 5. This is an interesting one. This is where it starts to get fun, these last couple ones. Mood swings and anxiety. Now, I'm not someone who struggles with an anxiety or necessarily mood swings, because I do not recognize myself as an emotional person. I think one of the best gifts in life is realizing that you alone control your emotions, that no one can disrespect you or offend you or hurt your feelings. That's your personal choice to be offended, etc. That's your choice. So I'm very in control of my emotions. I don't hide all of my emotions. I wait for the right time to use them. For example, compassion. As a father, as a husband, empathizing with someone. But as far as, getting upset and stuff like that, my mood, I feel, is very steady. And I think back when I was eating carbs, you could get hangry back then. I don't get hangry. That's something I've noticed. All right, number 6 and 7, if you're making this far in the video, you're about to have some fun. Because I don't openly talk about the whole lot, but those of us in the keto community know that this is our reality. Here we go. So number 6, I'm gonna say a problem that went away is gas. Here's what I mean by that. We can talk about bloating, which was never an issue for me. I think a lot of females deal with bloating. Not so much for me, but just gas in general. So like burping, farting, yeah, gas. I don't have those issues anymore. It's funny, the only time I burp, and this is a sign of fat loss, is during my fasting period. I'll have these burps from nothing. And that's how you lose fat. When you pee out the fat, it gets converted through your urine or through gas that you burp out. But I'm not like having all these burps while I'm eating or after I'm eating, anything like that. And also, I'm telling you the truth, I hardly ever fart. I hardly ever do. If I do, it's like, and you don't even smell it. It's like a baby fart. It's like an infant farting. That's what it's like. So it's interesting because when you're not consuming carbohydrates, your body's not struggling to process so much of this food that you can't actually process. So yeah, I don't really fart anymore. It's pretty remarkable. That's my life now. And then lastly, on a very similar note, let's end this by talking about poop, because that's the last one. I'm not saying I don't poop anymore, but here's what I mean. I remember as a kid, because there's a part when you're a kid where, you can't wipe your own butt as a kid. There is when you're a certain age. And then eventually you start getting old enough to like start doing that yourself. And I remember as a kid thinking, I don't want to do this. I'm sure my parents said the same thing. They don't want to do it either. And now I'm a parent and I've, raised 2 kids past that stage. So yeah. But I remember thinking, why do we have to deal with that? Every time we go to the bathroom, we have to have a dirty butt and then clean it. And for me, I was one of those people who would keep those wet wipes around, and like even, wherever I was, I'd keep them with me. I'd keep them under the seat of my Jeep. I'd keep them at work. Even at my office where I haven't been in nearly a year, there's still some in that drawer there. But what's interesting is since I went keto, I don't need that at all. Check this out. It's hard for you to believe unless you're living it, but 10 times out of 10, when I go to the bathroom, just for the sake of it, I'll still get the toilet paper and I'll wipe. Clean piece of toilet paper, nothing's there ever. So there's something about cutting carbohydrates out and just focusing on fat and protein. It's just a clean break, completely clean, pretty remarkable. So there you go. There are 7 problems that went away since going keto. What are they again? Hunger, fat gain, low energy, brain fog or clarity, mood swings or anxiety, being hangry, and having to deal with gas and, poop. as far as when you wipe. There you go. You love it. Your comments belong right here.